Hello, sunshine. It's me. I went to do quite a few errands today to top up a few things. So there's a few things that I kind of want to share, which is interesting for me and exciting. Um, but a lot of it's mostly to do with the podcast, but some of it, not so much of this. Also, I've been out like walking all day, so I'm really tired. So excuse my lazy position. This is my natural habitat. So basically, my good friend Anthony, has posted some stories, and one of the stories yesterday on Instagram was his lamp. And I was like, as soon as I saw it, I've been looking for a lamp for my bedside table, and I just couldn't decide what design or what I want, and also price range. And it turned out there was something that I really wanted, which was the design, which was the one that he had, and it turns out it was really cheap, or at least affordable. So if you're interested in yourself, it's in Big W, and also I believe by JB Hi-Fi. JB Hi-Fi was more expensive. Big W is kind of still on a sale, but they didn't have it in the city, so I had to travel all the way out to Pagewood for it, which was a decent 1 hour travel from the city. Um, but you know, I was traveling around the city the whole day, in and out anyway, so it was alright. I just really want to test this out first, so we're just going to test it out here with my USB plugins next to my bed, always handy. Nice, at least the extension is pretty long, so big plus for me, always. So we're going to pop this one in. Okay, then we're going to the extra hole that I got. Yeah. Bruh. It's very hard doing it one-handed. Okay, then just turn it on. Ah, it's so cute. Oh my god. You can tell actually in person, like it's a pretty cheap product, but on camera it actually looks way better and way cuter. I like it. That's good. Cool. That's the one thing. Next. So the last fragrance I had, the first fragrance I ever got, I went to Myers to buy it in a nice place, and it was a very proper, like nice fragrance. I forget the brand, but it was a very, very good one. And then after that, I went to Broadway and then found one of those places that was kind of like they had like these kind of dispensers, and you kind of go across and try all of them, and then they can bottle up into like a little chute for you. Um, I'll grab a I'll grab a video later. I can't be bothered to move right now. So I was trying to go to Chemist Warehouse where it's much cheaper to get fragrances, and because it's completely run out today as of this morning. So I was like, I need to top it up, and I want something a little bit bigger, like more value for less money. But I wanted to keep it within that range, but under like $80, because that last vial was like $80 or so for like something so small. But I struggled to find anything that I liked within like the $30, $60, $50 price range. Everything like $30, $40, they were all kind of like smells very like harsh chemical and a bit like minty in the kind of like a bleachy kind of way, which was not good. Anyway, in the end, I found this one, and as soon as I smelt it, I was like, oh yeah, it's got that warm, sweet kind of like scent that I particularly go for. So those are the two main qualities I often have for, and like a little bit spiced. That's kind of like the three qualities I really, really go for, or like a bit of a woody sense. I don't really know what this brand is called. Okay, so it's called Facade Latafa. And part of the thing that I thought was really cool, that of all the designs there, like all the bottle designs there, this was actually the coolest one. So I was like kind of like happy that it turned out to be the one that I actually liked as well. So you know, big plus. Lucky me. Let's pull out. See, look how cool the bottle is. Whoa. Anyway, let's test it out. Yeah, and it's quite light, and it's kind of got almost like a citrusy kind of finish, and it's almost got like kind of like a chocolatey kind of velvety dark darker, heavier kind of like vibe to it as well. So I really love this. I'm actually really happy with this. And the reason why I really want to invest in this kind of stuff, oh God, it went close. Is that how far it is? That was actually close. The fuck? I'm confused. Oh, shit. Oh, oops. Let's not do that. All right. I think it's probably just like that. Let's just leave it like that. Anyway, so I'm really excited about that. That made me really happy. Oh, anyway, that's what I was going to say. So the reason why I think it's very important for my fragrances to keep up my fragrances in like sort of a scent is because that kind of makes a very good first impression, and I feel like that's very important to kind of give off that clean, fresh, and memorable kind of impression for people that I meet, especially during this phase of trying to network and connect as much as possible for the sake of the podcast and building the podcast and building the community. Um, yeah, and it's just also I'm big on fashion, I'm big on fragrances and that kind of stuff. It's just, I think a lot of people are. I think it's a really nice thing. So it's just a very enjoyable thing. So I'm glad that I can still kind of afford that. Obviously, I wish I could have spent less on it. It was, that one was like $60 exactly. But yeah, so, and the other thing I mainly went out for today was actually for an event, which was by Playgrounds, and we'll do a video later on for it. And it's basically it's a pottery studio, but they were doing a mini winter market for selling all the stuff by different companies coming together to use the ground. And outside, they also had, I believe it's the owner who was there, doing some demonstrations in front of people, like shaping like pottery. And then they also had free coffee by a food truck, and also doing some food. So that attracted a lot of crowd, which was really cool. And then they obviously had a discount for the classes. Anyway, in the end, I found the first place that I went to, which is this place. Um, I'm guessing it's called UG Ceramics. Handmade on Gadigal land with within a Roseberry Studio, Sydney. Yeah, UG Ceramics. So you can follow them on Instagram. Hopefully that shows. But yeah, so I got footage of me talking to them. They were really, really lovely people, really friendly and really patient. And my heart was kind of playing up, and so they were the first one that I kind of went straight to. I don't know, I just like walked past the first few and there was a lot of people. So I went straight to them because they were a little like less crowded. I had a look and I immediately kind of really ended up liking this design. And I was just like, oh, I think I'm going to get that one. And the best part was it was only $7, which was really cheap compared to everyone else. So I think like, that they're doing pretty good prices. That one, but like for me, like I feel like this was going to be more like a display piece because I do kind of want some stuff to display on my shelves to document sort of like different types of signify different kinds of events. Anyway, so I went and looked around. There was a Japanese place that I also really, really enjoyed. I'll link them down below later. And they were really, really cool. The person was super nice and super friendly and super sweet, really adorable. And the pieces were amazing and very, very diverse in sizes and types and also design. And brought in a lot of Japanese techniques, apparently, she was explaining to me. But in the end, I decided that price range and also design-wise, all considered, like I think I like the first place way more. So I went back to them and they're like, oh, you're back. And I was just like, yep. And I ended up finding another design that I also really liked at the time. I pretty much saw it straight out. I basically like fashion, like design, like clothing. Like I know what I like with this kind of stuff very, very quickly, like almost immediately. And I don't really dilly-dally around. Anyway, this is the other design. Look how nice the color contrast is. And look how much, there's so much texture on this. And I really like those kind of earthy, kind of like simple designs. But that blue just really, with the drip mark, like just really attracts me. So I think this would be really nice for drinking tea when I'm trying to relax. And I think this one's going to go on the shelf, and then maybe sometimes I can alternate them around. What do you think? That's really cool. Oh yes, and then the other main thing I needed to go out for was, since I was already out in the city, I did end up going to reprint another version. It's a bit smaller, but another version. I might actually still end up wanting to print it again. I think it's just a bit too small. I don't love the size compared to my other one. I'll just show you quickly. Whoa, fuck. Okay. Just dropped my headphones, but that's all right. So the size is pretty similar. Actually, no, it's pretty drastically different, actually. It's missing quite a chunk. But yeah, I just think it's much too small. I think this is like the perfect size and I like it at. But the issue with this print was because I didn't realize at the time I had done Timmy, Heart ABLAZE, podcast, and that just icked me to no end. And then I kind of like basically just put some white over it and then like finish the design and print it out again. Yeah, I just think it's too small, like especially with this, it just looks so tiny, especially on screen. Anyway, so and it was really funny. So I went to the Pitt Street one in the city, which was nice and close, but then the laminator had broken. So then I had to go to Martin Place, the Hunter Street one. I've never been there before, so it was good to know where it is. Did that there. But yeah, printed out way too small. And then while I was there, I remember Office Works has these kind of round batteries, which I needed for the remote control for my neon lights. So that was really good. And this one was really good. The fact that I need it for neon lights, and I think the neon lights are going to run out very quickly because I use it more often for the podcast. But these were on sale, so it was a pack of four for $12 instead of being $20 something. However, I needed one for scales as well, which was a CR 2025. That one was completely sold out for some reason, and then the only pack left was the pack of fours, and that was like $22. So I'm gonna wait for that, and in the worst case, because I need to bake some cakes for an event coming up that I'm recording, and in the worst case, I think I'll just do cup measurements. It won't matter too much. Because it'll be mostly frostings and stuff that I'm really focusing on making from scratch, because money. Anyway, let's try out the remote. That's going to be the biggest thing I really need to do right now. Oh, shit. Wait. All right. Let's see. Oh. I am so tired. Like, my legs have been up. Like, I've been on my feet so often this whole week, pretty much non-stop for like at least straight 8 hours. It's like back up doing like hospitality shifts essentially, but like even worse. God, do I need scissors for these? And like to the point where today, by the end, when I went to a gallery that I was invited to from my last other queer event that I went to at Qtopia in Darlinghurst, my legs basically started shaking when I was waiting for the bus because my legs were that tired. I'm gonna need scissors for this one second. Oh, oh, love it. Oh. All right, we got it. We're good. Oh, shy. There we go. But yeah, so by the time I got home, I was like, oh, but I should probably go and start preparing the cake a little bit because I might need to bake the cake, chill it a little bit so it's a little bit more easy to handle and slice into layers because I need to layer it with like frostings and stuff for this cake. That's the remote, by the way. You see how decked out it is, which is awesome. Let's just see how to get this one open. Okay, you got. I think it's gonna be this way, right? Okay. This way. This way. Okay, no, significantly wrong. Shit, that's stuck. It's confusing as hell. All right, we got it. All right, let's see. Yes, okay, it works. Okay, I'm gonna try and demonstrate this while we're doing that. Let's see. So now it's on. Now the main issue is with this, we need to drop um, the brightness because it is way too bright to the point that we can't actually. Is it actually working? Let's see. Turn all the way up. Oh yeah, yeah, it's definitely okay. So if we turn it down this much, then we can kind of see. Yeah, I think it has to be at this level. Let's try the green. That's red, green, blue. Nice. Now, what else can we do? Meteor. What's that? Whoa, that's sick. Okay. And stars. Oh shit, that's cool as well. Fire. Fire's gonna be real. Hot ablaze. Oh, this one's actually not that great. Rainbow. Rainbow. Rainbow and meteors. How different is that? Meteor's cooler. And there's all these. It's weird. There's this like heart button. Let's see. Is that like favorites? What does that do? Oh, what's that? It's like a pulse. Oh, that's weird. That just turned it off or something. That was weird. Mode. Okay, so there's different kind of flash modes. So depending on the type of color that I go with that day, I might need to. That's kind of cool. I might need to actually tweak the brightness as well. But that's really cool. Okay. I think I'll stick with this one for now. Let's see when it's further away if it shows. Yeah, that definitely shows. That's awesome. There's timers as well, it looks like, and there's music, I guess. There's a music button. Not sure what that's going to do. Music? No. No idea. I don't know what W does. What does W do? Ew. Is that just white light? Alright. I think that's good for now. And that will do for the update. Sweet. Okay. Phew.